Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 84. This is Stephie, and this week's question is, do you advertise GenderBlenders to your friends, acquaintances, at local meetings, to others you know, etc.? You know, how do we learn about something? How do we find out about something that we didn't know before? And that's, of course, through advertising. Many people simply don't know about us yet due to lack of advertising. So one of the things that I try to do is everywhere I go, I try to talk GenderBlenders up because it's a great resource, especially for our community. So how do you advertise? How do you advertise? Well, of course, when you have people that you meet and deal with day in and day out, particularly those who just happen to be in our community, of course you bring it up. And you say, about this resource. Many times you'll find that they don't know. You've now just allowed them a little bit better access to us. My local group, the North County Coalition, I think I've mentioned to you folks that I recently joined the San Diego North County Coalition LGBT group. And many of those folks didn't know about GenderBlenders. They didn't know about the resources that were available on YouTube. So I spread the word. And it's been invaluable in educating that group about transgenders. And, I think we've helped ourselves out through being able to do that. So, that's one of the things that I do. I mention to other folks around in our local group, hey, here's a resource for transgenders. And talk about it because, we give a different perspective and we provide a good resource for this community. And I'm pretty proud of what we do here on GenderBlenders. So I bring that up. I mention GenderBlenders at work. I think I've mentioned a few times that I put my videos for GenderBlenders up on our network. And they're there in front of everyone, and anyone can go and watch them if they so desire. And I kind of get away with doing that. And it's using company resources for a non-company kind of a thing, but I actually spent a lot of time there, and I think it's a little bit fair play. Occasionally I will call out one of my coworkers. I think you folks have, heard me mention, folks like Norma more than once. She's been she's just absolute delight to work with. She's always positive and helpful. And, when I go to Disneyland, I will stop and get her, one of those large suckers. Because she likes that. She likes sweets. She's got the metabolism of a hummingbird. So she can eat things without gaining any kind of weight. So I get her things like that. She likes them. Friends, all the way back to college. And folks, you got to understand, I graduated college in 1968. Okay, that's, there was dinosaurs still wandering around about then. And, occasionally I will run across somebody that I knew back in college, and I'll mention, who and what I am. Surprises the heck out of them. And I'll mention GenderBlenders to them, because it's a good resource to have them understand what we are all about as well. So it works both ways. It helps our community and helps the mainstream community understand a little bit about us. And I figure, when we do that, what we're really doing is we are allowing those folks to become a little bit less fearful of us and a little bit more understanding of who and what we are, and realize that we are normal people too, trying to be happy and trying to live normal lives as best as we can. Okay? So I will occasionally mention that various networking organizations. I think, a lot of folks are on Facebook and MySpace and things like that. One of the professional organizations that I use is an organization called LinkedIn. And that's kind of a networking group for folks that you used to work with in different jobs and so forth. And so, when I run across those folks, I'll ask them to acknowledge me as being a coworker and so forth, and it starts to build a little bit bigger network. The whole idea is if we then need something, like we need a job or whatever, then we can go and use that resource and, talk to the folks that we used to know. Hey, do you know anybody that's hiring? Kind of a thing. So that's a good resource kind of a thing. And for most of my career, I used to be a different gender. So I have surprised more than one person in LinkedIn. But, I will mention them. I'm basically the same person I used to be, but a whole lot happier now. And I will mention to them that if you want to see a little bit more about this, go to GenderBlenders on YouTube. So I do call out GenderBlenders. It's a great resource. And it helps the mainstream community understand about us. So there are various ways in which we can advertise. And we can tell people about who and what we are and how we fit in and what we're trying to do. And I think that helps people get a little bit more used to us and a little bit more understanding of our condition. So, in conclusion, there's way more than one way to advertise. And the more we do advertise, the more this message gets out, and the more that we are able to help other people and help ourselves. So that's my take on this week. Do I advertise GenderBlenders? Oh yeah, I do. A lot. Whenever I get a chance. I'm proud of our resource here on GenderBlenders. I think we do a dang good job. And I think this is a good resource for our community, helping people that have our condition understand a little bit more about the condition that they have, and help them to become a little bit less fearful about making this transition and acting out who we are and being who we are and getting people to accept us. So I hope this has been fun for you. Until next week, this is Stephie saying bye-bye, everyone.